to make you some money on our NFL season preview presented by Geico. Switch and save, get more with Geico. Take a look at how our experts fared last year. We put Kyle Long and Pete Prisco head-to-head every week. You see the records there. Kyle coming in 165, 141, and 1. Pete Prisco got some work to do. You're kind of opposite there. Opening statement before we get going in this year's round, Pete.
It's a new season. Get those records the hell out of here. We're 0-0. What are we doing? Come on, Jack. What are you doing to me?
This is my favorite thing to do every single week.
Me too.
Coming in here because me and him, we argue a lot, but we get along, we have fun, and also I love to hear reactions when we make our picks, and then I just spend all week on social media hearing it from people.
Yeah, it's always good. You get it a lot as well from the Packers faithful, a handful of fan bases.
The Steelers fans always
Dolphins fans as well come at you.
Yeah, they
all right.
love me.
Let's get to some of these season predictions presented by FanDuel, and we are going to start with a big one. We are going to start with MVP. We are presented by Geico. Switch and save, get more with Geico. Pete, I will come to you first. I'm going to let Kyle listen before he reacts as the winner from last year. Your MVP this year is who?
Patrick Mahomes. I think when you look at the Chiefs and where they are right now, the problem last year was the offensive line. He was sped up. They had major issues at the two tackle spots. They actually had to move Joe Thuney from guard to tackle. That's how bad it was. Well, now they draft Josh Simmons. And Josh Simmons was the best offensive lineman in the draft, and it wasn't close in my mind. There were concerns about his health. There were concerns about how was his attitude. He's been outstanding, stepping in as a left tackle, starting right away. He's a ballerina playing left tackle. His feet are amazing, the things he can do. Now you move the tackle to guard. You're bigger, you're stronger. Go ahead, say his name.
Kingsley Suamataia.
I love the way he says that. And he moves to guard, and all of a sudden your offensive line is fixed. Well,
He's pretty darn good at guard.
Patrick Mahomes is going to have time now. And once he gets Rashee Rice back from his suspension, because he's going to get suspended for a long time.
Oh, he's good.
You're going to have playmakers down the field, and I think that's the biggest difference. This team is going to get back to hitting the big shots down the field because there'll be time to throw the football. Patrick Mahomes hasn't rolled up big numbers in a long time. He's going to roll up big numbers this season.
You know what? I would hate to disagree with you because I love Patrick Mahomes. I'm one of his biggest fans. I love Travis Kelce. I love the Kansas City Chiefs. But I would be wrong if I didn't say that last year, the guy who had the best season, in my opinion, of any quarterback in the history of the National Football League didn't win the MVP. And you're telling me he's running it back with the same offense? Oh, yeah, and they added some pieces on defense. Oh, yeah, and they're pissed off because of the way they finished their playoff run. And go ahead, make your comment. It happens every year. They should be pissed off every year. Lamar Jackson is your MVP. There's nobody in the league like him. Akin to me saying offensively, there's nobody like Patrick Mahomes. Nobody can do what he does. There is nobody on planet Earth who does what Lamar Jackson does. He truly is Superman. You look at it last year, the touchdown to interception ratio is it's in another universe.
Yeah,
okay,
41 to 4,
this isn't
that's
supposed to
amazing.
happen. And oh yeah, and in the backfield, who's with him? Big Derrick Henry, who has not taken a step back. This coaching staff is the same I can remember as when I was in a Little League, Pete Prisco. They know how to win. Lamar Jackson's got a chip on his shoulder. I think we get a repeat and maybe even a better season this year than last year's.
Wouldn't surprise me. Not at all. He is so talented, and he puts up those big numbers. And there's a couple concerns. The offensive line, you have some issues there. And Will Henry, you talk about him not slowing down. At some point, doesn't he have to?
You would think.
I mean, you're getting up in the years.
I got to see it first.
Me too. But you got to think the back of your head. When you put
it's like those big trees out on the West Coast in California, the Sequoia National Forest. Those things are thousands of years old. People are like, they're going to fall over eventually. They just keep getting bigger, man.
Yeah, but if you got a saw, it would
Derrick
fall
Henry.
over. Well,
All right, guys, let's keep the main thing here. Good news for both of you. We will see the Bills and the Ravens at least in Week 1 Sunday Night Football. So we're excited to kind of see what that matchup looks like. Speaking of the Bills, you told me the other day that you think Buffalo is going to win the Super Bowl this year. So then when we go to our next superlative here, Coach of the Year, it does not surprise me. Your Coach of the Year is the coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Because I think they're going to win 13 games. And you look at their schedule. I love the roster. I think the makeup of the roster. They had all 10 guys back on the offensive line, the top 5 and the backups, all. That never had. Cromer said it never happens.
Ever.
And he's a great line coach. The line is the strength of that offense beside Josh Allen. They're going to be able to run the ball. Cook's happy now. They got the receivers are good enough. Kincaid is back in the passing game. And you go to the defense. We talk about the depth of their offensive line. they've added a bunch of guys on the defensive line. Some of them are suspended, so it's going to be 6 games. Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi are suspended, but they'll be back in 6 weeks. And when they come back, they're going to have to cut a good football player because they have so many guys. Keep Bosa healthy for December and January. This team, and you look at their schedule, the schedule is so favorable. If they win on opening night, and you should win that game, you're at home, you're a good team on Sunday night, the next 7, I think, before they play the Chiefs, they can win them all.
Okay, I like that a lot. You know what else I like? Well, actually, I'll say it. I love it. The culture in Detroit. Dan Campbell, the impression he's made on that football team, and honestly, how you can set your watch to the toughness, determination that this team plays with. A lot was made this offseason about the exodus at both coordinators, offensive and defensive coordinators. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, both out of the building. And people like myself all offseason said, well, they're not going to be able to overcome this type of schematic loss. But in my opinion, now when I think about it, Brad Holmes has built a bully in Detroit. And Dan Campbell was quoted a couple weeks ago saying, my job is so that if I were to leave and go on a 3-week vacation, my team would just continue to do what they do. They wouldn't miss a beat. That's what I feel about Dan Campbell's team. That's what I feel about Dan Campbell, the leader. I think that if they do go on a run, they win the NFC North, Dan Campbell's the coach of the year this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think they're going to win the NFC North, so I wouldn't pick them. I think one thing about Sean McDermott has evolved. You know, there's guys that stay in jobs and they don't evolve. He's evolved. He allows his coaches to coach a lot more now than he used to. He's kind of pulled back a little bit the reins. He's still physical. You go to their practices, they get after it. They'll run gassers after practice. This isn't like some teams where it's a country club and they play great music and the guy in the orange jersey gets to pick his music every day. I mean, this team gets after it.
I wonder if there's a team in the NFL that does that you hate so much.
Yeah,
that's crazy, right?
Yeah, you know where that is.
All right.
It's down the road over here, by the way.
Pete, you are just out of control today. Something you mentioned, though, Kyle, that I wanted to kind of key in on when you mentioned Dan Campbell was the relationship and the impression that he makes on his players. And you and I sat here with Jamal Williams last week, and that he sort of echoed those same sentiments there. So it is interesting to see that even players who aren't on that roster anymore, that's kind of where they go there. I do want to go back to you, though, when it comes to the winner of the AFC. You kind of soft-launched it already, but who are you looking at to win the AFC this year?
I love Lamar Jackson. I love the Baltimore Ravens. Now, you're not asking me about the game after the AFC Championship. You have to stick around for that one. But look, you can't tell me there's a team that's more equipped defensively at all 3 levels of the ball. You can't tell me there's a team that's more equipped to beat any defense, regardless of scheme or personnel. We're going to run it down your throat. Can you stop it, Pete Prisco? That's what the Baltimore Ravens are going to do.
They're going to be in the mix. They're going to be a deep playoff team. I don't think there's any question about that. They do have a couple flaws. I mean, the edge rush, they don't have that guy. They have guys, Van Noy, guys like that, but they don't have that guy come to the line of scrimmage, identify him, and knock the quarterback down. So that's a concern. The offensive line has some concerns. I'm being nitpicky. They gave up a ton of big plays last year. That's why Jair Alexander is important to them. They moved Hamilton back. I'm with you. It's a good football team. I just don't think they're going to win the whole thing.
Haley, what would Pete less likely want to get hit by, an open hand or a closed fist?
I would guess less likely.
Less likely.
He would less likely want to get hit by a closed fist.
Because this is a bunch of individuals, pass rushers, cover corners, blah, 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 blah. This is a team. This is what the Baltimore Ravens have, and they've shown it to me year in, year out. I just feel like this year is the year for them. The chips will fall their way, and Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP in the AFC.
So that was you were like this, and you closed the fist?
Closed fist.
You didn't close it around the Lombardi trophy, though, did you?
No, that's 2 hands like this.
You haven't closed it?
I don't have any practice holding those.
They haven't closed it around a Lombardi trophy with Lamar Jackson either, have they?
Yeah, well, it's time.
Okay. And that's why you're leading Bills. Like we've talked about that. You want the Bills. You think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl?
I think the Bills are going to win. I think the Bills are going to the Super Bowl this year.
All right, so let's go over to the NFC then, because again, conversations that you and I have had on these programs. You're big on the Packers. This is the second year in a row where you believe that Jordan Love is going to take them to the promised land here. What is it that's happening in Green Bay that has you for the second year believing?
I like teams that are young and are getting experience, and then they're a year older. And if you go back to the Packers a year ago, they were the youngest team in the league, and a lot of guys played. And year 1 to year 2, year 2 to year 3, you know the growth of an NFL player from year 1 to year 2.
Those are the biggest years.
And I think we're going to see that. Once they get all the receivers back, and they're not all healthy. Christian Watson was running the day I was there, that was 3 weeks ago, and he's going to be back probably in a month or so. Once they get all the receivers back, that's a great group. Matthew Golden's going to be a big-time star in this league. The tight ends are both healthy. They're going to be productive. The offensive line is good. Jordan Love, I'm a big believer. He was hurt all last year, by the way. You know, that kind of got glossed over a little bit. He got hurt in the opener, but he was hurt the entire season and didn't practice a lot. And they think he needs to practice. So he's going to be back. He's healthy. He's already practicing again. He had the finger issue, but that's not going to be an issue. I love the Packers, and I think Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker, is going to be in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation.
Okay, high praise, Green Bay. What about you?
Well, I mean, if you double Edgerrin Cooper's stats from last year, he missed about half the season. He had an all-pro season.
Yeah.
He had an all-pro season.
Big,
he had
man.
a DPOY type number.
He's unreal.
For me, it's got to be, you got to prove me that there's somebody else out there in the NFC who can go toe-to-toe and fight Mike Tyson up there in Philadelphia, the Eagles. And it feels like until they age out that offensive line group, you're going to have the same conversation with me every single time. I'll put my money on the Philadelphia Eagles offensive front. Their front seven defensively, guys have the opportunity this year to step into star roles. I'm thinking about Jordan Davis. I'm thinking about more consistency from Jalen Carter. I'm thinking about that year 1, year 2, year 3 jump with players in their secondary.
Nolan Smith, another one.
And they have a plethora of options. Howie Roseman has been a mastermind behind constructing this thing. And you got to think Jalen Hurts, he wants to run it back, man. He was great last year. Let's do it again.
I know, and Jalen Hurts not even making people's top quarterback list. I mean, the disrespect, I think, has been loud across the board.
Well, he wasn't
for
great
Jalen.
during the regular season last year.
But
Let's
he
be
did win
real
a Super Bowl,
about it.
Pete.
It took him a while.
You got to give him his credit there.
That's a team thing.
Okay.
He played good in the big games. There's no question about that. But here's my concern about the Eagles. You're now the hunted again. And when you're the hunted, that's tough to deal with. And nobody repeats in that division even. I mean, if you go back,
no,
what happened since, like,
2004 is the last time the
2004.
Eagles did it.
So it's tough to repeat. I'm with you. You look at the roster, the thing is loaded across the board. Howie Roseman does such a great job. From a talent standpoint, they're loaded. I just think all the other stuff, trying to repeat, people gunning for it's going to be too much for them.
Certainly, when we look at it, we have Kyle going Ravens-Eagles for the Super Bowl. We've got Pete going Bills-Packers. You believe in Bills, and you believe in the Eagles.
My wife tells me that the colorway for the logo doesn't match up with my prediction.
Yeah,
she's one of these
there
people
is some
that believes.
conspiracy regarding
we
it,
need Zach and Brandon down here to talk about this, I think.
Yeah, we do. All right, so there we have it. Our guys breaking down the season predictions for the NFL this year. Some differing opinions, but we'll see these two go head-to-head all season long, I believe, starting next week. And that is when the NFL returns to CBS, September 7th. Check your local listings to find out which teams are playing. And as always, you can catch the action streaming on Paramount+. Away from the NFL returning to CBS on Sundays. Before we get you there, our Sportsline team has a treat for you. Today is FanDuel Futures Day. And for more on the winning wagers, I'm going to hand things off to our Mackenzie Brooks, who very clearly has her hands full with our newest members of the Sportsline betting crew, Mikey and Adam. Mackenzie, what's going on with Futures Day today?
Oh, yeah. We got plenty of futures for the team here today. Happy Futures Day, gentlemen. I mean, someone's got to say it.
How you doing?
Hi, guys.
Happy Futures Day. I didn't even know it was Futures Day on my calendar. I looked and it wasn't there.
I feel like it's Futures Day every day. We've been
Correct.
putting a lot
This
of
whole
futures
summer's
in
been Futures Day, but now's the day we dial in. We put our best futures on the board for the NFL specifically today. Mikey, why don't you start us off strong with something you're really feeling passionate about in the NFL?
I don't know how strong it's going to be, but.
Yeah, you know, I'm feeling passionate about it. I'm not going to say that it's the smartest thing you're going to hear today, so I just want you to prepare yourself now.
I'm ready.
So I'm going to give you a second, really breathe this in.
Okay.
I saw a photo yesterday of
I know the photo.
a starting quarterback in the NFL who was preparing for what seemed to be a date night. Mm-hmm. Opted for the leg sleeve on a wine night with a board game.
Love that
and
energy.
I already liked this team's win total at 8.5, and I just feel like I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the plus chicken here at 9.5 plus 105, solely because leg sleeve on date night bakes me in one more win.
Let's call it what it is. It's not the leg sleeve. There was a guy on a date with Madison Beer.
Yeah, call that one, yeah.
Yeah, but do you know how locked in you gotta be to go, we got a date night, there's wine, there's board games, and I need the leg sleeve.
Question for you.
That is another level of I'm dialed.
Are you any bit concerned that Justin wasn't the person carrying the wine? It was actually Madison.
You know, I actually
non-gentlemanlike.
I liked that look because he's a quarterback. He's all about being clear in the head with the mind games.
Okay.
He's got the board game.
Right. Okay.
He's got the thing that
Security.
really matters.
For those that don't know, are you talking about Justin Herbert and Madison Beer, to be clear?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Chargers over 9.5.
And
Yeah,
while we're
yeah.
at it, don't hate a Justin Herbert over 21.5 passing touchdowns. A number he's cleared every single season that he's been healthy and played the full season. So I digress there. But I do have another player prop. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to interject. As a perennial Justin Herbert hater, I'd like to say that I do hope Madison Beer does affect his performance on the field, so I actually am hoping that it doesn't work out. So
All right, well, I'm
gonna be
glad you
negative.
got that off your
Thank you.
chest.
Appreciate
Let's
that.
talk about something I know we all can agree on here. Brian Thomas Jr.
Yep.
That we can agree on. Yes.
Over 6.5 receiving touchdowns. I mean, he did it last year under some pretty bad conditions, must I say. 53% of the team's receiving touchdowns, and now he's got his good friend Travis Hunter, who's just going to take at least some of the defensive attention away and open up our guy BTJ.
Are they
6.5?
Are they good friends? You said
They're
good
going to
friends.
be.
Do we know if they're friends?
I'm going to go with it.
I'm not worried about the friendship. That's a big number, dude.
I
If you're
like
thinking
it,
that-
though.
No,
I kinda like it.
No, I'm not saying the touchdowns.
we were in a line.
No, I'm in.
Whoa, I'm in. If we're kayaking, I'm in the boat.
Well, that would be a
I
canoe.
was just saying, that's just crazy to hear that he was 53% of the, like, Fabio loves him.
Yeah.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence loves him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said Fabio last time. I was like, didn't hit me as quickly as, but you were referring to
long
Trevor
hair.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
long
like
hair.
it. I think he's going to have more than 6.5. Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
No,
totally
I
in
love
on
that. I didn't want you to think I'm not in.
It's not a controversial
May I-
segment.
Or well, how about this one? Seahawks strap in over 7.5 wins.
Now we're getting controversial.
No, see, I don't hate that because former Jets quarterbacks love to play this really fun game where once they leave the
go, yeah.
organization, they become Hall of Fame candidates. And I believe a former Jets quarterback is a Seahawks quarterback.
Correct. The big thing to me is they're allowed to regress from last season. They were a 10-win team last season.
Which is insane.
I'm asking for 8 wins here. I'm not asking for 10. I think between Darnold, Kupp, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, you're going to get 80% of what you got from Geno and DK Metcalf, and that's all I'm asking for. I'm not
80% 's a
asking for
lot.
10 wins. I mean, it's not, listen, year 2 of a Mike McDowell defense, okay? Things go pretty well. You had a lot of Ravens players who weren't very flashy guys, and they became stars under him. I think we'd see a very similar situation. They were like a top 10 sack team, and it wasn't just one guy that was a juggernaut. They're just consistent across the board. So I think that defense is going to rock. I think the offense will be good enough. I'm asking for 8 wins. I'm not asking for 10. And I think that FC West is pretty wide open.
I think you can get 8 wins. I think the Seahawks are one of those weird teams where they can exceed expectations. There's something about it. 7.5 is right on the money, though. And I was saying that to you guys before. There's something you just hate. Vegas just knows something, you know? They just weirdly know something. Except for when it comes to my Miami Dolphins.
Oh, boy. Here
You know what
we
I'm saying?
go.
They
Yeah,
just
let's
don't.
hear.
They don't know. They know with every other team, but
that was
not the
good.
Miami
That
Dolphins.
was
You like
good.
that
No,
transition? That was a good transition.
That was good.
Nice T-shirt, big guy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not
that
going to be
was
the
good.
homer here, but you want to talk something that is going to hit this season? It's called the Miami Dolphins over 7.5
Oh, I
wins.
like the way you
Here we
preface
go.
that.
Yeah, it's
How many
good.
games is Tua going to play in that?
Well, it doesn't matter because we're going to hope that he plays all of them, okay? So
Wow,
let's just go
that's so
back. 3
optimistic
years
of you.
ago, they win 9 games. Tua gets injured. Still won 9 games. 2 years ago, they win 11 games. Tua makes the whole season, to your point. And then last year, they win 8 games. We know how it goes with
Yes.
Tua getting injured.
Yes,
okay?
yes, yes.
They have not gone below 7 wins in Mike McDaniel's tenure. When the entire board is saying that they are going to go right, I like to go left. For the last 2 years, the board has said they're going to go left. They could win the division. They could win the Super Bowl potentially. That wasn't me saying it. I'm just saying the media was saying that. The Dolphins had talent. What happens? The Dolphins go right. So for the first time ever, the entire media is saying they're going to go right. And what happens, Mikey, when they go right? Adam crashes and goes left. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going left. The Miami Dolphins over 7.5 wins.
I mean, you're going to zag when everyone's zigging.
Yeah, that's the terminology I was looking
I
for.
like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Left and
Little
right.
here and little
Yeah,
there.
so
zagging
one thing
I
I'm
like a
not
little
going to do is probably support you on that journey, but I really do
Well, then
like
good.
that for
Under
you.
7.5 Seahawks for you then.
Yeah, Mikey, hit me something I'm going to like.
I mean,
That's a tough
not
ask.
the guy you want to come to if you want to like something that I got. Bryce Young pass yards.
What is it?
3,200, I believe now. 3,199 some places. Listen, I came on here and I gave his passing touchdowns, and now I'm going to go ahead and give you his yards. I don't know why, but my brain does this thing where I try to dial in with it, and it doesn't look at things correctly, and then I
Right.
go, I'm going to do it anyway. And for whatever reason, I've completely sold myself on Bryce Young this year. I think at the end of last year, he had me believing that he was going to be a premier quarterback in the NFL. And I think for whatever reason, my brain is playing that fun game where it goes, that's just going to happen every game.
Well, let's play the fun game also. I don't know math. Kenz, you're the smartest one here. What is 3,200 divided by 17? What is that per game? Do we know?
That is
Guys, that's crazy.
186.
Oh, Mikey with the quick math.
I'm just kidding. That was a complete guess.
Yeah, what? I was going to say. That's good.
I said it with
Okay, but let's just say, hypothetically
I'm
it is. Yeah, put it in your phone. Let's just say, hypothetically, Bryce Young needs to have 180 passing yards per game.
Yeah, also.
What?
I like that. What is it?
188.
Mike!
Well, that's not bad. Also, just want to say this graphic does not make me like it. But
I didn't see it. I missed
I'm going
it.
to sit here and do what I just did with that math. I'm going to say it confidently because I believe it. Bryce
Listen,
Young pass yards.
I think in this moment is when we present to the people on Futures Day the 18.5er parlay.
Oh, I love
All you
this
need is
one.
19
All you need is 19, and
All
that
you
is
need
the
is
slogan of the year.
of the year.
We got our guy, Bryce Young.
Yes, passing touchdowns.
Give me Cam Ward over the same 18.5, because why not? It's 18.5, it's Futures Day.
I love it.
And then we go
Yep.
Michael Penix Jr. over 18.5 passing touchdowns as well. The 3-leg, all you need is 19 parlay.
All you need is 19.
All you need is 19.
Dun, 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 dun.
There's not much I like more than that, I'll be honest. Maybe the Chargers to make the playoffs.
Okay, we're not going to do that right now.
Chargers to win the division.
Do we have time to go on a tangent right now? Because,
had to
Kenz,
squeeze.
yesterday in our show, we were going back and forth. You and I made a bet, okay? The Vikings and the Chargers. Who has more wins this season? Kenz, be the
know what
unbiased
team I'm
person
on,
here.
Adam.
Yeah, but I hope you had 24 hours to think about it. Who has more wins, Kenz?
The Chargers. I like
No!
the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. I like this offense. I like these year 2 with Greg Roman. Vibes are going to be high. Things are going to be better. JJ McCarthy hasn't played football in 2 years.
Just sit back and watch.
Some might
I don't want to put money on it.
say the last time he did play football, they ran the ball a lot.
They did
And it
run
was
the
in
ball.
college. But it's
So
fine.
much.
It's fine. It's fine.
The Vikings won 14 games last year. If you're going to tell me that the team is going to be worse, 5 games worse, and they're going to win 9 games, I think that's insane. I think the Vikings win 10 games at least. They're both in a crowded division. I think the Vikings, if I have to pick one, is it the Vikings or the Chargers? I think the Vikings are the better team. The Chargers have the better quarterback. I bet on the team, and your armpits are wet right now.
Dude, yeah,
because
I'm
you're sweating based
I
off of
know,
what
dude,
I'm saying.
I'm sweating. Because when you start saying absurd things, it makes me sweat because I get nervous. And you're talking about the Vikings being better than the Chargers, and it makes me sweat.
Yeah.
Let's go to a division with a little less parity here. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles for a second. We're getting this pretty price of -130 for them to win the NFC East. I don't even want to talk about the Eagles in this segment. I want to talk about the rival contender, the Commanders, who I just think are going to regress based off the schedule that they have at hand, okay? Please hold.
Got it.
Last year, they played the average of a 7-win team, right? Easier schedule. This year, they're playing the average of a 10-win team. It's basically a playoff team at that point. CJ Stroud, year 2, same type of vibe. They're not the same player. I think CJ Stroud, relative, played well, but we had such a high bar for him after his rookie year and what they did that naturally we were let down. I think we have a similar situation coming for the Commanders.
Kenz, are we sure that the Commanders should be the team that's being talked about as a
Tell me it's the
actual?
Cowboys or the Giants,
I feel
I'll
like
freak out.
no, not the Giants. We're not going to do that right now. But I feel like the Cowboys are a team that I'd be more afraid of if I'm the Eagles this year than it would be the Commanders. The Commanders are a #1 regression candidate this year. Am I the
that's
only?
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Cowboys to me were so statistically impressively bad at home that I do think they're going to get better.
Yes.
Like it would be hard to do what they did at home again last year. Their win total is 8.5. I think they can go over it, probably dance around 9, but I still think the Eagles are in that double-digit wins.
Isn't there a fun stat where there hasn't been a repeat division winner in the NFCs for like 20+ years?
You know, things happen.
I'll tell you something else fun that happens at the Cowboy Stadium. I buy a ticket to watch the Jets and Aaron Rodgers play, and he blows out his Achilles in the first game, so I go anyway to watch Zach Wilson in a green vest. We get blown out as I'm walking out of the stadium. Guy rolls down the car window as I'm walking out. Nice vest, loser. So that one hurt.
What does that have anything to do with the Cowboys?
Just want to let you know, it was at home. She said they do crazy things at home. I went to a home game in Dallas, and that sucked.
You did put on a green vest voluntarily.
Yeah, that's a look in the mirror spot.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm just confused
All right,
at the correlation between the two.
Well, the correlation is I think the Cowboys are actually going to win that division. But
You want to know the fun fact? Doesn't matter. The Eagles
so
are going
now
to win
you
the
guys
division.
hate me.
No,
Now
the Eagles
you're
win the
both
division.
Cowboys
I'm with you. No, don't put me in that category. I am not a Cowboys fan at all. I like CeeDee Lamb. I like George Pickens. Yes, I drafted Dak Prescott last night in fantasy. Thank you for asking. But it's the Eagles. The Eagles win the division. It's not. It's the first time in forever. How long?
Thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else have any other futures to get off their chest for the glorious Futures Day?
I think I gave everything that I'd like to give.
I could do one more if we want to dabble.
yeah, go squeak one.
Nico Collins over
You
6.5
love
touchdowns.
You love him.
He had 8 last year. He had 7 the year before. He missed 5 games last year. Everyone is saying that there's no Tank Dell. The receiving core is not as good. I like the pieces that they added. They added Jaden Higgins. They have Jalen Noel. They have Christian Kirk. I think with a new offensive coordinator, no more Bobby Slowick. I like Nico Collins. I think over 6.5 is so doable for one of the best receivers in the NFL.
And Joe Mixon's going to miss some time this year, correct? At the beginning of the year?
Correct. He's
All right.
starting
I
on
don't
the
hate it.
Throw the ball well.
I will say my favorite thing we have talked about today is the all you need is 19. Let's take one more look at our 3-legger plus 600. Bryce Young, Michael Penix Jr., Cam Ward, all over 18.5 touchdowns here. I feel
looks
like
good.
that's a good spot.
That
All
looks
right,
really good.
boys. I feel like that's a good warm-up here for Futures Day. Haley, we're going to kick it back to you.
I feel like we learned so much in that segment, some football related, some not, but either way, some winning wagers on the line when it comes to the NFL. Stay up to date with all the latest when it comes to the sports betting world by tapping into the Early Edge podcast. Scan that QR code on your screen right now to start winning.